there's no question that usually between people there is love, there is peace, there is understanding, because the basic needs and necessities of each individual is bread, shelter, and a right to work and tranquility. I have lots of friends in the Muslim world who, when I sit together with them, we speak in Arabic, we sing Arabic songs of Kulthum and Farid al-Atrash and Abdul Wahab and many more singers, even also from Turkey. With Warda, excuse me. And so I have no question that between people there could be peace quite easier and faster. It is unfortunate, as I said, is the governments of many of these countries that because of their own selfish interest to maintain themselves in power, they have sacrificed Israel and their relationship with Israel and the Jews on the altar of their own self-stability of that leader. And so instead of a leader worrying and taking care of his population, either because there's not enough food or there's not enough shelter or there's enough education, and therefore he directs the anger of his population towards Israel. Always Israel and the Jews are to blame, instead of taking care of his own people. Well, we have seen it all over history. We've seen it in our days, and it's still being seen in the territories of Judea and Samaria, where you have the Palestinian Authority ruling, or even in Gaza. That instead of developing democratic institutions in those areas, instead of taking care of their own population with literacy, with education, with food and shelter, instead of eliminating all those refugee camps and build for them cities and villages that they could live with honor, dignity, and as human beings, of course they're going to turn and say it's Israel to blame, it's the Jews to blame. And that's only because, again, that is the only way that they feel they could guarantee their dictatorship, is by sacrificing Israel.
Well, we know...
We
know radicalism and bigotry exist, which is against the Quran. And these people have enmity and hatred against Jews, against Christians, and against Muslims also. As you know, there are many different Muslim sects, and there is enmity and hatred between these Muslim sects. For example, Sunni against Shia, Hanafi against Maliki, and this group hates the other one. But this is because of radicalism and bigotry. And we, with Mr. Adnan Oktar, do a very powerful struggle against this intellectually by giving evidences from the Quran and from the Hadiths. And education is very important in this way, of course.
Yes. And Oktar also, we believe that...
Jerry will comment actually after
Okay, Jerry, please.
If it's still to do with this, then I won't back up. I won't keep you. If it's something else, I definitely have something I need to say. There are a few things that we have to look at here when it comes to and romantic nationalism. Is a big problem we have, not only in the Middle East, and it's even in the Western world. This is a worldwide problem. And what the Quran tells us is those who disbelieve filled their hearts with fanatical rage. The fanatical rage of time and the ignorance of God sent down serenity to his messengers. Are you there?
Yes, we are.
Can you hear us?
Yes, there was just for a second.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what I was saying was in the Quran it says those who disbelieve filled their hearts with fanatical rage, the fanatical rage of the time of ignorance, and God sent down serenity to his messengers and to the believers, and bound them to the expression of heedfulness, which they had most right to and were most entitled to. God has knowledge of all things, Quran 48.6. And the reason I bring this up is because commonly Romanticism, most people look at Romanticism, they understand it as either the Romantic movement of the 19th century or as a emotional thing between two people, or so to speak, like that. I know I've had this discussion quite a bit with a few people, and it's to look at it in its other forms. Romanticism is also closely related to political sentiments. It can be related to education. It can be related to sports. I mean, there's a wide range of Romanticism can be attached to, and chief among them is romantic nationalism, which kind of came into play at the end of the 19th century. But the thing with this is that nationalism, in the most common sense, refers to an individual's love for his people and for his country. And that's not a bad thing. That is a good and legitimate sentiment. It doesn't go against any religions in that sense, so it has no damage to affect humanity. But just as an individual's love for his mother or father is a legitimate feeling, so is the love for a nation. Because the nation nurtures a person, they take care of them, that's where they live, that's their culture. But national sentiments become illegitimate when they become irrational or overly passionate.
Yes, yes.